Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal to the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. Jimmy, we're coming live, Jimmy, from Houston, Texas. There's a whole lot of things going on in sports. I don't know where to start, Jimmy. I know where I would like to start, because I was somewhere that you wasn't this weekend, but I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to go there yet, because it was some interesting things happen over the weekend in amateur sports. Interesting things happen in professional sports. It's good to be a Houston Rocket fan today. It's good to be a Houston today. Small ball is working. All you small ball haters, all of y'all. I mean, Jimmy, let me tell you something. I always reserve room on this bandwagon just for you, because I know how you are. So I always got a little spot for you. And I got something else for you right now. Watch this. Always have a little spot. Change your background on it. Hey, Jimmy, where do you want to start today? You know what? I give you honors. Like we pitching horseshoes today. I'm gonna give you honors. Where do you want to start today?
I mean, one thing, we dive right up in there. We're gonna talk high school basketball. We got that coming up shortly, yeah. and we're going to. If you're tuning in, you guys know Mondays are always a treat, because a lot of stuff that compounded and took place over the weekend. But one of the things that we're going to, I guess, introduce you to is there are a lot of first-time viewers.
Yes.
For those that didn't know, didn't hear it again, I'm Jim Hicks with RCS Sports. Basically, we cover all of the Greater Houston basketball scene year-round. And this is Robert Hatter.
Yeah, with the Deal LLC Sports Management Agency. And guess what? It's just doing my little part here on the Chop Shop. What else you got?
Hey, forget that, because that way a lot of people have to go and save you. Yeah. And you do the rest, of course, on social media. I'm at RCS Sports individually if you want to follow. On Twitter is where I'm probably most active. and of course the Facebook feed. You guys that are watching Facebook, YouTube, we're streaming simultaneously on both platforms. Yeah. This show, it is normally enthuses, it entertains, it informs, it enlightens a lot of the people around the aspects of primarily amateur sports. But in just a second, we will and we do talk professional sports as well. So I'm just giving you guys some footnotes, some disclaimers.
Jimmy, Jimmy, I got a unique, Jimmy, I don't even realize, because I wasn't that big on social media. Everything was private until I got on this face, on the Chop Shop. So I think I'm the Mad Hatter 05 on Instagram, Mad Hatter 05. 05 is my son's number, was number 5, so I just 05. And I guess I'm Robert Hatter on Twitter. So, if you want to follow me, I'll let you in now. I used to wouldn't let you in because I was super duper private. But now, hey, I'm letting you in now. But just don't be adding me. Jimmy, somebody added me the other night. Remind me to tell you something, Jimmy. When we get into high school basketball, be careful when you at Jimmy. I almost went there and I had to catch myself. I almost went there. So remind me of that a little bit later. So what else you got?
And also give you guys something. The comments, that section where you see a lot of the comments, that's what we call the boom boom room. And the boom boom room, and occasionally you'll hear a little bark every now and then in the background. That's Kobe. That's the puppy, and he's the mascot of the Chop Shop. And so Kobe might give him, but you hear that. But
Jimmy, do you want me to give you the things from the top guy? Did I send it to you already?
No, you didn't. So what we're going to do is, as the comments that you see strolling, what we do, and we've started doing Thursday last week, is we acknowledge, we're on the top of the show, we're going to acknowledge the most commenting people in the boom boom room from the other day, meaning that the people with the most posts. We have the software which tracks the amount of comments that you guys make. And that's the way to show who's the most active and reward you guys. So without further ado, how to give them the top 5, the starting 5.
Oh, you give them the top 5? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're not included in that.
Yeah.
But
we're not included. Jimmy, so I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up to the top, right? So number 5 was Businessman.
How many
he had 40.
Okay.
40
comments.
40 comments. Number 4 was Marcus Sloan. He had 46.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Marcus
46.
Sloan. Number 3 is Melvin Dews. He had 61.
61.
Yes, sir. Number 2 is Kevin Freightman. He had 65 comments. And guess who the winner was, Jimmy? By a landslide. Todd Holmes.
How many he had?
105.
What?
Yes.
So we only 120 minutes. So he was commenting almost every minute. Come on over. There you go. On the Chop Shop. So shout out, man, Todd Holmes, man. Thanks a bunch. Let's see if you can keep that thing popping today.
Yeah.
As well. And as we get ready to blast this off now, speaking of which, coming up in about 30 minutes, we're going to be joined by one of the guardians, right, of the players from the Jack Yates. Over the weekend, a lot of stuff took place. And I don't get too far up into it right now, but they had an article in the Beaumont newspaper, which was followed by an article in the Beaumont newspaper, followed by an article in the Houston newspaper all this past weekend over some comments on an incident or a situation that transpired during the closing moments of Yates versus Hardin Jefferson. There's been a message board that they've been going back and forth on. And I'm talking about, it's been lit as far as people voicing their thoughts. So what we're going to do is, as on the Chop Shop, we're going to go straight. We went straight to the core and persuaded the Guardian to come and speak for the first time publicly about these innuendos and these myths about Yates and recruiting and how players get there and whatnot. That's coming up. You don't want to miss this conversation. If you are one of those people who have been engaged in the message board that has been coming back and forth, I encourage you to go into that board right now to let those people know. Make sure they tune into the Chop Shop and get some of this.
Oh,
and
yeah,
get to hear this conversation.
I'm interested to go for the ride. I'm very interested.
Oh man, I am as well. I'm definitely interested myself. Now, first and foremost, get right into some NBA stuff. Of course, you mentioned the Rockets and Houston Rockets. As they stand, they're in the fourth. They are firmly in the fourth seed right now this week, with a 39-20 record on the season.
That's all we done won. It seemed like we done won so many. You know, my bad. 39. Okay, you can go. You know, you remember, you and Sandra got on me because she talking about where would I have 39 or 40. You know, I like 39, but go on, keep talking. Come on.
I mean, but you're 2 games ahead of the Jazz, which the Jazz they've really been playing average ball the last 10 games. They've only won 5 of their last 10. Talking about the Utah Jazz. As far as the Rockets, 8 out of the last 10, and they are one of the top 3 hottest teams in the NBA, of course, alongside the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Both have went 8-2 and 9-1 respectively over the past 10 games. But the Rockets right now, it appears that the small ball is making some people hush the hell up. Now,
excuse me, Jimmy, hold on 1 second before you go any further. Okay, now.
Now, the thing about it, as far as the Rockets, they are on a 6-game winning streak, which matches the Milwaukee Bucks as far as the games won in consecutive fashion. But the Rockets, once again, Russell Westbrook he's enjoying his role now. Basically, guys, understand, a lot of people are worried that now small ball is going to take its rightful place in grassroots, because you will see a lot of teams now will go to experiment with that. But I caution and I warn anybody who thinks of engaging in such a small ball feat on the amateurs level and thinking it's going to get you it's going to get you to the promised land. You must understand the ingredients that goes into this recipe. You must have 2 Hall of Famers, two very, very elite players to even think about this small ball scenario working for you guys. So stop right there. Now,
Jimmy, people always gonna emulate the pros. So, hey, they don't have to have. And guess what? And you saying they don't have all stars and all pro Hall of Famers, right? Guess what? And nobody else on the amateur circuit don't count. So guess what? It could work on the amateur circuit also, because the other teams are not gonna have Hall of Famers playing against them either, Jimmy. So it's gotta change. As a matter of fact, summer basketball is always gonna be small ball because most people don't have a big. Most people don't have a big.
I'm talking about you winning the whole thing. Remember the concept of this, the Houston Rockets, they're not in rebuilding mode. They are having aspirations to get to the Western Conference Finals. At least I said consistently that I think that how would you call it, the bell curve for the Houston Rockets would be this Game 7 of Round 2. I think that's the least that they need to do for us this season to be a success or any form of success. Also, Hannah, I was thinking, obviously, I forgot to check my traps. The Rockets must really don't want Gerald Green back.
I mean, you can check your traps, but Jimmy, why? Jimmy, he's hurt for the season. He won't be able to play this season anyway. So they can bring him back next year if they want to. He's
No,
done.
that's not true. No, that's not true.
No, he hurt, Jimmy. Yes, he is.
No, but he was supposed to be trying to make a comeback for April.
I'm telling you, you go check your traps. I'm telling you, he's hurt. Yeah, he hurt, boss.
And so but anyway, back on these Rockets, they are in New York to play the Knicks this evening. It's a 6:00 start time. Among the top games in the NBA tonight.
Hold up, Jimmy. Before you go, I got to share some stuff about the Rockets. You just can't gloss over this. Russell Westbrook and James Harden. I know you. Hold on a second. Russell Westbrook and James Harden are the first teammates in NBA history to each average 30 points plus 5+ assists in a month. Houston won 9 of 11 games in February. Only losses is to Phoenix without Russ and the Utah. That dude hit that lucky buzzer beater. So, Jimmy, I just want, let me talk some more about these Houston Rockets. I know you like to gloss over them, but I'm not. Because guess what? We might not be in this stretch no more, but the most points per game for a duo in the three-point era. The most points per game for a duo in the three-point era. Guess who? Curry and Clay, Iverson and Webber, Katie and Curry, Bird and McHale, Shaq and Kobe. But the number one is Westbrook and Harden, 62.5 points a game. So let me tell you something. So I just want to give my guys, because I know a lot of people don't like to give them. I got a whole soliloquy left. One of these days, I'm going to give y'all about this thing that Harden and Westbrook is doing. But I know, a lot of y'all, I don't like them. I don't like small ball. Let me tell you something, dude. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jimmy. And I told you I love them because what? They're entertaining. But if my nephew, James Harden, can hit timely shots at the right time in these playoffs, Jimmy, I'll hang my hat with. I'll bet my right pocket on him. If I feel that he can hit timely shots now at the right time, then, and I'm just filling it out right now, because Jimmy, what I learned about James, I watched, he gonna get his shots. Can't nobody stop him from getting his shots. But if he can make, and I know y'all saying, well, he don't hit him in the playoff. Well, just maybe with Russ, maybe he will. So I'm just telling, if he hit timely shots, they can go all the way. But keep going.
So now you done went from first round to going all the way now.
I never said first round. I said they are enjoyable to watch. And I don't expect that much. But if I watch them over the last 7-8 games,
so your
if James Harden makes timely shots, write this down, at the right time, nobody can beat him. James that important. Nobody can beat him. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we're going to see. So that means your expectations done change, because now you went from the glass can be half full the way you sounding right now.
But I said if my auntie had a beard, she'd be my uncle.
No, it's not an if.
I said if James Harden can make timely shots.
That works for anybody though, Hal.
No, not for anybody. Anybody's not going to, excuse me. Anybody don't have the Jimmy. Anybody don't have the offensive arsenal. Jimmy, hold on. Anybody in the league don't have the offensive arsenal that James Harden has. Anybody in the league don't average 35 points a game.
Talking about any single body. That goes for anybody that's a top shelf player in the NBA. They fill the gap for anybody. Any of those guys.
Excuse me, Jimmy. Anybody, all I'm telling you, anybody don't have the capabilities and the skills of James Harden in the league. In that league. Jimmy, you got to remember now, it ain't for Jimmy.
Once again, you're not listening to
Jimmy, it's 450 players in that league.
You're still not listening to what I just said. That ain't what I said. I said of all of the MVPs, that's only that's included in that what I just said. They got nothing to do with the other guys.
But y'all think, but you think them great? You think they great anyway?
But once again,
hold up.
If they do this,
Jimmy,
then that.
Jimmy.
That equation.
But Jimmy, you don't hold those other guys with disdain like you do James Harden. You and the rest of these Houston Rocket haters, y'all got this hatred toward James Harden. So I'm talking about James Harden right now. I'm not talking about the rest of the stars in the NBA because y'all suck them up. Y'all love them. Y'all hate James Harden. I just said if James Harden make timely shots, I didn't say every shot. I said timely shots at the right time, the Rockets, the guy y'all love to hate. Well, we'll see when the playoffs come. We'll see. Y'all don't say that about none of the other stars. Y'all only say that about one star. So guess what? That's why I said what I heard what you said, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. That's all. That's all. It's all good.
What you just did, you did your best to straddle the fence with these Houston Rockets. Either you all in at this point,
Jim,
or you not.
I'm all in with them all the time. I'm the only one on this show that's all in with them. I got room for the bandwagon for you. I've been with them.
So why straddle the fence? Get on up out there. Get on all in.
Jimmy, all I'm telling you is he is the catalyst. That's all I'm saying. I said timely shot. He ain't got to hit every shot.
So that means you've acknowledged that is on James Harden's back.
Yes.
So that means the lack of success in the postseason, not talking about the regular season, in the post, because he's on the Mount Rushmore of regular season players in the modern day history of the NBA. The postseason, it's him.
Yes,
it's on him. He on the clock.
Guess what? That's the way y'all feel anyway. So yes, it's on him.
That's the way Greek Freak feels as well.
Man, ain't nobody thinking about him. They gonna give him an excuse.
What's the excuse he gonna be?
They gonna give him an excuse. Well, you know he can't. You know he got to work on his 3-point shot a little bit more. Well, you know he got to. Y'all gonna have an excuse for him. You know, sometimes he missed this. I told y'all, Jimmy, this is the only superstar Greek Freak I've ever seen in my life that missed the whole rim on a free throw. And y'all keep talking about, well, it's some other people do it. I ain't never seen nobody like that. At least Shaq used to clank the back of the rim. This man missed the whole rim. The Greek Freak.
What year was that?
I'm talking. He did it this year.
He did it this year.
Yes.
Same guy hit 41.
Yes. He did it this year. He gonna do it again. So as the playoff comes, he gonna do it again.
You never saw. So Shaq isn't good because Shaq shot several air balls.
Shaq clings the back of the backboard. He throws up that hard.
Shaq did all that with the ball. He hit backboard. He missed out on the rim, and he missed the whole rim before.
Wait a minute. I knew you were gonna have a comparison. All I'm telling you in this game today, like you just tell me, in this game today, who's doing it? Nobody.
All the air balls he wants. He producing like that, and this team has won 52 games.
And Jimmy, he hadn't won a championship either.
He hadn't won one either. Yeah, but he's on clock to even, first of all, to get to the championship. You got to go in increments. He hadn't made it to the championship yet.
That's all good.
Now he's on notice because now it's expected once you get that MVP. And in recent years, think about who our MVPs have been. You know,
Steph,
Kawhi Leonard,
KD.
No, think about it. Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, KD, LeBron. These are your 4 former MVPs that's reigned over the past few years in the NBA.
KD,
Steph, Kawhi, LeBron.
Yeah.
Now Greek Freak.
Yeah.
All those other guys got rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, James Harden.
Hey man, you got one more
in there too.
Hey, you know what? Keep on doing.
So they're both on watch right now, on clock. Now, who has an easier road to get to the finals? Who have the odds in their favor? The Milwaukee Bucks. Right now. So that means if James Harden,
Jimmy, no, because this is the playoffs ain't started yet. They got what advantage do they have, Coach?
It don't matter who's over there. The East is a far easier path than the West to get to the finals if you're not the Lakers or the Clippers.
So why are you talking about the accomplishments of a guy that's playing in the East against them bombs all the time?
You got to win. You got to beat the team the best out of the West in order to win it. But I'm saying for him, just like James Harden, his right now, the expectation is for Harden to win. Eventually, his career is going to be defined on that. He would be in a category similar to a Karl Malone and a Charles Barkley and those guys.
And Jimmy,
if he does,
I got a question. Do you think less of Karl Malone?
Do I think yes?
Less of it?
Yeah.
You think so? You think less of Charles Barkley? Hold up.
I think less of him. I think less of Karl Malone is because of this. It's because if Karl Malone would have just packed it in and sit still, then the loyalty, the way that he rode out on his horse would have been great. But Karl Malone left. Remember, he left and went to the Lakers and tried to go onto the super team.
So you think less of him because he didn't win a championship? You think less of Charles Barkley since John Stockton because they didn't I'm different. I don't think less of a player.
When it comes to comparing
you can't compare. I just can't think. No, because you compare. I don't compare. I think if you make it to that league.
Conversation, if you do, and it comes down and you're making compatible comparisons. It's like when
I know some guys who won championships, Jimmy, but you don't even know them no more.
I say making comparisons against compatible talents or compatible resumes. Then the championships is the ultimate tiebreaker.
So Bill Russell is the best player ever to you.
Huh?
Bill Russell then is the best player ever to you.
Understand.
I just got a question.
I never saw Bill Russell play in person.
But he done won the most championships, Jimmy.
Winning the most. That's like saying, so LeBron James is lesser than Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan won the most. But that was what a lot of people use because they had compatible resumes. So that's what I'm saying. Only when you're comparing compatible resumes does the championship come into effect, and that will go and that would break. I
don't do it like that.
That's normally how it is. You can't. That's how it's always been.
That's not how I do it.
That's why. Remember, before LeBron, that was a time when LeBron was in Cleveland and had yet to win. He had been there, but had yet to win the title. And people said, the masses said, don't even bring this LeBron conversation up with Michael Jordan in the same sentence. Let him win. He need to win a championship first.
I got something for you. Let's take about a 30-second break.
For us, it's just putting the puzzle together.
Our one goal is to win the championship.
That's the goal every year.
We're going to put the work in to do that.
I thought I'd just take that little break, y'all, to give me a glass of water. Now, what else you got, Jimmy?
Well, we got breaking news for you guys in the amateur ranks, and coming up shortly, we're going to be joined, and we're going to talk high school basketball. But the judge in the federal case of former All-American Brian Bowen, they have ruled that his lawsuit against Adidas can proceed. Remember, they were attempting, the Adidas, the sneaker company, were attempting to get that lawsuit dismissed. Now they can. This young man, remember, he was in the midst of the trial. His name came up during the federal corruption scandal, and this young man, his father,
Daddy cried on the stand.
Got on the stand and said he had took some money.
No, Jimmy, he was crying on the stand. Tell the whole story.
Well, I didn't see him cry. I don't know remember him crying, but he was on that stand testifying, and they remember this. Also, the NCAA ruled that this young man could not, that he was no longer amateur of taking the money. So this young fella went and tried to do the one and done, and got basically blackballed in out of the system, or didn't even get a chance. So now his lawsuit, he's suing Adidas. For fraud and bribery and all the stuff relating to the money that he lost as a result of agreeing to indulge and cooperate with these investigations, thinking he transferred to South Carolina. I remember that. And that's when, that was the beginning of the end, because South Carolina was, remember now, South Carolina was a school that was on the top of Zion Williamson's board. That's why a lot of people thought Zion was going to end up in South Carolina. Then the block got hot, and he had to back out of the driveway. But anyway, that's going to be big news.
Look what Herb just said, Jim. Look what Herb said on the screen.
What's that?
Speaking of paying players, Jarrell Colbert committed to LSU yesterday.
And Jarrell Colbert
is something else, man.
The class of 2021, and he started off at Sam Rayburn, and he went off to a couple of schools out of town. Now the young man is, speaking of Colbert, he's expected to enroll at Hightower High School. He moved back to Houston. Parents moved back. They got to move somewhere. Got to go to school somewhere. Reason is the school that he was attending, and as a result, their season has concluded prematurely. So that means a lot of those players now have to go. I think Trey White was at the same school. He's gone and moved away to the West Coast to attend school. And Colbert, if what I understand, is coming back to H-Town, and all signs point to those family moving on out. Remember now, the reason people say, well, why Hightower? Jarrell Colbert's, in defense of his family, his mother went to school and came out of Brazoria County. Matter of fact, his mother and Bryce Beek's mother played basketball together at Sweeney High School. They had a, you think, go Google that team back in the early 80s. Or in the 80s. I think Griggs' mother is a little bit younger. I think she may have been in the 9th grade while Colbert's mom was in the 11th or the 12th. But that school went to state like 4 or 5 years in a row. And now let's go. We're getting ready now. Once again, now we're talking high school sports. Now, I want to give a shout out to Cy Creek girls basketball.
Yes.
Went and open up a can of whoopers.
Jimmy, you got to watch that, Jimmy. You can't say that word because people get offensive when you say that word, Jimmy.
And once again, open up a can of whoopers. I don't care about nobody's feelings. That's just, especially, but you guys, once again, coming up shortly, we're going to be joined. But speaking of those girls from Cy Creek, I saw the dad of the young girl, Hunter, and he was one happy pappy, man, and he has the right to be so. 40-0, all eyes are looking for a highly anticipated showdown if both Cy Creek and Duncanville can win.
And also, Jimmy, Kendall got the Hunter also got the MVP. I think.
That was. Yeah, I mean, the other little girl was balling out of control.
Oh, I understand she was. I understand, but one of them got the MVP, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You talking about what are name? Rory Harmon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, balling. I mean, like, man. So, but anyway, that's one hell of a showdown. If Duncanville plays Cy Creek, Cy Creek is undefeated. Duncanville is the power team that is ranked higher in the state. Number 1 versus number 2 is going down. And this will be, I'm thinking about getting to San Antonio for this game. So if indeed this game goes down and on Saturday, both have to win Friday night. And it's gonna be quite a show. Anyway, coming up shortly.
Jimmy, since you are on, did you want have he called in yet?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get.
So we're
gonna be joined right now. I'm mounting up everything. How you can go so I can mount up Mr. Pink, so you can go and lead into him. Let him know we're gonna talk. We're talking now about the topic of Jack Yates and Hardin Jefferson.
Jack Yates and Hardin Jefferson. And Jimmy, right before that, before we go there, and maybe you're gonna do it later. You're gonna talk about because Ugly Toe on the YouTube page. He seems to want to talk about the TAP state championship this year. But I guess we got that lined up a little later, right? Jimmy, he done muted himself over there. Jimmy, okay. Well, Jim, let Jimmy over there. He gonna mute himself. He gonna bring in Bernard Pink, the guardian of some of the players from the Yates that transferred, and it was a big stink. Jimmy sent me this weekend, y'all. He sent me a thread that was on one of the websites, and the thread was 18 pages long. I stopped at 8 because I was getting a headache because people were just being monotonous talking about the recruiting. If I recruit like that, if I, what if they didn't have those 4 guys that came in this year? What would the score be? And I just thought it was sour grapes. And then it had one situation where I saw where the coach said some derogatory things to the Yates fans in the stands. So, Jimmy, you booted up over there yet? Coach, you still on?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Of course, we got
Okay.
live on the phone right now. We have Bernard Pink, and he's the guardian of the players of I think a couple, 2 or 3 of the players at Jack Yates who transferred in. And as you mentioned about the articles, the Beaumont Enterprise was the source of the first article, which pretty much put Yates in a very negative light. And then, of course, a couple of days later, Jerome Solomon from the Houston Chronicle penned a counter with an article that defended Jack Yates and these accusations about recruiting, and he shed light and rewarded them, because what was lost in the midst of this was Yates reaching the 100-point plateau for the 20th consecutive game. So now, ironically, Yates is in action tonight. Tonight, they will play in the 3rd round versus Lamarck. This is a highly anticipated 3rd round showdown between Yates and Lamarck. That game would be 6:30 at Alvin High School. That is the only game taking place as far as boys playoff that we know of in this entire region. Once again, who joined us right now, who has something to say and some news to info to share with you guys, is Bernard Pink. And many of you guys may not know, Bernard Pink, he went to Yates High School, and he played and was in the starting lineup along with Carvin Holcomb, Rickey Winslow, Stacy Belcher, and those guys back in the early 80s. Without further ado, we want to welcome, how you doing today, Mr. Pink?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys. And I want to follow up what you guys were saying about the misnomers. You see, the inference of impropriety is worse than impropriety itself. So the inference of what that coach was saying about us being recruited, about us not by Coach Wise, is absolutely 1,000% untrue. So let me explain. Let me give you some truths. I have never met Coach Wise until I walked through Yates campus when I first registered the 2 boys there. In fact, Coach Wise didn't even know these kids were coming. These kids were homeschooled by me for the last 2 years. And I never even was going to put them in high school or in a public school situation until they made a certain amount of grades, made their grades. And when they made their grades, I told them they can do it. But listen, how can you recruit me to go to Yates? And everything in my body runs from Yates. My father went to Yates. I went to Yates. We have owned property in the Yates subdivision for over 30 years. So in fact, I have more ties to Yates than probably Coach Wise himself. So how can you say you're going to recruit me to go to Yates when everything I feel and love is all about Yates? So to really actually give you the real fact of the situation is that these kids had no idea where I was going to put them in school. I'm the parent. I'm the guardian. So I brought them to Yates because that was my choosing. Coach Wise had never, ever did anything to recruit me. In fact, Coach Wise in the Yates program, even the principal and everyone, they try to do everything with the most up to their integrity, high standards, high value. something wrong because we took this L. We took this big loss. They must have done something wrong because we lost about 40 or 50 kids. They must have done something wrong because they're that good. They're too good. No, we try to do everything right. We try to be out the book. We try to do by the rules. So most people say to this coach, they say, well, look in the mirror. You had kids come from Beaumont or United or wherever last year, the year before, you let them transfer. Look, I'm not talking about that. I don't care about that. What I'm telling you, I'm not politically correct. Tell this coach to sit down and be quiet because he does not know what he's talking about. And it's an insulting on me as well. It's insulting on me because you're saying that I could be recruited for a $1. You said somebody can persuade me to do something, and I have done everything right. And the whole program, the PH program, has done everything right. So it's unfair to my kids, it's unfair to the school, and it's unfair to the principal when we do everything at a high standard, and you say that we're doing it at a low standard. So that inference of impropriety is wrong. So this coach should actually owe Yates apology for putting that inference out there. That's my loose, Jim.
Now, of course, just tuning in, we have Bernard Pink live on the Chop Shop. But Mr. Pink, what are the names of the players whom you have attained legal guardianship over? Can you share their names?
Chuck Institute and Alan Umadou. Those are the only two children that I have control of power over because I'm their legal guardian. I went through the court system and did everything the appropriate way. In fact, I had to go before the UIL to explain my situation also. And once the UIL did their review, and once they saw my paperwork, that these kids been in the Yates district for 2 years, not one, since they came to the United States. They've been with me in the Yates district for 2 years. I didn't allow them to go last year because they were in homeschool. And I'm all about education. I'm a lawyer. My father's a lawyer. My brother's a lawyer. My nephew's a lawyer. This is what we do, education. So I want them to have the high standard of their education before I allowed them to go to public school. So once they got their education, once they met the qualifications that I thought were necessary, I allowed them to go to Yates. But they lived in the Yates district for 2 years before I even decided to allow them to go this year.
And so now, going back, a lot of the accusations of recruiting, for those of you who just tuned to the Chop Shop, and I understand